Hi, welcome back. This is video number 7, and this is Fox 888 again. So this time, what we did last time, which is add the little muzzle thingy on the little ship. We made a bullet prefab that the ship is going to shoot. So now go ahead, click on the ship, and then he has a move script. Double click on it. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to shoot this thing out. So up here, all the way on top, we're going to make another. We're going to make two variables. So this first one is going to be public transform, which is, it just means somebody like a coordinate. So I'm gonna call it muzzle, then like that, and then it's gonna be the next one's gonna be public game object bullet, and then the last one is gonna be public float bullet speed. We need to add some kind of speed, and then this time it's gonna equals 150. And yes, that is a lot, but it's pretty good so far. Okay, so all the way down, let's say, let's go down after the update function. Yeah, let's go right here. Now, if you do 2 slashes and then you write something, it's going to turn out blue like that. That's a comment. That means the compiler or the game engine is not going to register that. And the reason why I started to mention that, guys, so eventually our code is going to get kind of big, and I'm going to start to introduce you functions, or how to make your own functions. Like here we got void update, that's a pre-made function for Unity. And then we got void start, that's a function pre-made for Unity too. Now if you go here, if I click on this bracket, it says this is for update, belongs to the update. So after this one, we're gonna make our own function. Okay, I'll teach you how to make your own function. Same thing like variables, you can decide if they're gonna be public or private. If you type the word void by itself, it automatically means that it's public. So it's gonna go ahead and then just make it private void. That means any other script can access it. It won't matter if it's public. Right now that doesn't matter, okay? I'm gonna call it movement, a parenthesis, close parenthesis, just like how the update looks like, just like that. And then that's it. That's our function right there that we made. And you can click all this and then copy it and then paste it right in here. Now it's not going to work because we need to call this function. Now update is part of the Unity engine, so it's automatically gets called. So in order to call the movement, you just type the name of the function, movement, and then up parenthesis, close parenthesis, and semicolon, just like that. And then now it should just start working just like normal. Oops. Go ahead, play. Name my ship. Ah, still moving. Okay. So now I just kind of taught you how to make your own function and call it in. So on top of it, I'm going to just add 2 slashes. This is where the movement code goes. And then right after it, we're going to make the bullet code. And then eventually, the reason why I'm going to put it all in functions, so on and so forth, for when it comes to the networking part, for you it's easier to understand and easier to network things around. So we're gonna make come on, excuse me. So in our private, if I can get my fingers right, void bullet. Another thing you need to know when you make your functions, make sure that they're capitalized. If they're lowercase, it's probably gonna give you an error. Okay, so in here we're gonna do if input dot get button down. Now there's different kinds. You got get button down, get button up, and get button. If you do get button down, right when you press down, it's gonna register, but only that one frame. Now if you do get button up, right when after you press the button, right when you let go, that's when it's gonna call whatever you're trying to call. And if you just do get button is gonna call it every frame. It's just gonna keep repeating forever. So get button down, and then you're just gonna up parentheses inside Unity, just like whole thing that say click edit, then project. Edit, then what is it? Project settings, and then input. This one it says jump. That's actually automatically set for the space bar. So it's gonna call it jump. if I get button down, jump, and then now we're gonna actually make our bullet. So in order to make our bullet, we need to make a variable in here that we're gonna use as a clone. So I'm gonna call it. Oh man, excuse me. If we go on top, the game object bullet, that's actually wrong. It has to be a rigid body. Later on, I'll explain you why I had to change it to that. If we this is the name of the prefab that we're gonna instantiate. In this case, we instantiate a rigid body, and the reason why we instantiate rigid body, so we can add some force to it right after instantiating. So if input get button down, just call it rigid body, and then we're gonna name it clone. Notice I didn't write the row public or variable in the front. Yeah, automatically it's gonna be private because it's inside this coding here. Okay, and at the same time it's inside the whole function. Now if I would have wrote it on top, rigid body or whatever name I want to put it, then this can be accessed in here and anywhere inside the function. Now this right here is only for this jump code. Okay, so now I'm going to do clone equals instantiate. Instantiate, it just means make a duplicate, copy it. So you're going to call the prefab, which is all the way on top, bullet, comma, where it's going to the bullet is being instantiated from. So we instantiate it for the muzzle, that position, comma, and we want to make sure that instantiated the same rotation the muzzle is pointing at. So muzzle dot rotation, close parentheses. It's going to give you an error if you just close it off. So you have to typecast as rigid body. Don't know how to explain casting right now at the moment. I'll probably be able to come up with it later on. And then now we're going to do clone dot. Now we're able to access the word velocity because it's a rigid body. Because we made a variable type rigid body. If we didn't made a rigid body clone instead of game object clone, then we won't be able to use velocity. So rigid body clone dot velocity equals transform dot forward times load speed. Okay, so we got that right there. Now we need to call bullet. Don't forget that. And then go all the way up there and then call that function bullet. Upper close parentheses. Now we're missing one more thing to do before it starts working. So click on your Unity thing. Then now you're gonna look and realize that your move script has two empty variables. So click on your ship, the muzzle, just drag it up in there where it says muzzle, and then the prefab, drag it up where it says in there, not rigid body, and then now the ship is set up to start shooting. Just go ahead and hit, and then you got your bullets flying out. Now, something we're gonna do eventually, right now, after it, is if you look, every time you shoot your bullets, there's a whole bunch of them instantiated. We need to make them disappear after time, so it doesn't ruin our frame rate, because then things will start get laggy if a lot of people start shooting at each other. Y'all have a nice one.